Hello there, everyone. My name is Bill, aka the Marvel Knight of Ren from Twitter, and today's topic is all about Rockstar games and their future. So, a lot of people think that GTA 6 is going to be the next game for Rockstar. Now, I'm here to tell you why I think that another game should be the candidate. The candidate. Well, anyway, Bully 2 would be a fantastic option because there's a lot of ways they could improve upon the original now that we're in the year 2019 and the last one came out in 2006, unless you count Bully Scholarship Edition. One feature that I really enjoyed from Bully and that kind of carried over to Red Dead Redemption 2 was the dialogue options. In Red Dead Redemption 2, you could greet and antagonize people, which was interesting, especially considering your dialogue would change whether or not you decide to greet or antagonize. Like, you could start a conversation by greeting them, and then you could antagonize them, and then you could diffuse it. Well, I would love to see this concept return to a Bully sequel in the future. Could you imagine if you're walking around in school and then you're picking on a nerd, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Now, obviously, in the first game, there was some of that, but I, for one, would love to see more dialogue options. There should be plenty of things to choose from, and I think it would add a lot more personality to every conversation there is. Here's a few ideas I have for Bully. So, obviously, I think the graphics and the animations could use some redoing, some revamping. So, for instance, you could give people wedgies in the original Bully, but I think they should improve upon that because, let's face it, when you would do that, you can't even see the guy's underwear, and it just looked ridiculous. It just looked like you were sticking your hand up there, and I'm like, whoa. So I think there should be like a little mini game for that where you could tap the button repeatedly in order to pull the undies higher. Another interesting idea I just came up with would be to have different fighting styles based on which faction you join, which is what I'm going to get into in a second here. Imagine a Bully game where you could join different factions. Like, if you wanted to be a nerd, you could be a nerd. If you wanted to be a jock or a bully or a greaser, you could do that too. Maybe even be a preppy if you earned enough money maybe to get into that group. So in a way, I think it'd be interesting if there was a Bully game where you could join factions, where it could be like an RPG sort of thing, and you could kind of have different standings. Because, to be honest, the old Bully, all it had was respect for each from each group. There was never any way to really join them. Jimmy only joined them just to kind of, control them, just to stop them from being evil. I say this that the story can go a certain way, but I think they should add a lot more freedom for the player for being the student that they want to be. Maybe for coming up with schemes to stop the bullies as nerds, or if you're a greaser, you want to like make the preppies' lives hell, and then the other way around if you're a preppy. Or maybe you're just a delinquent and you want to quit school and be a townie. Now, maybe that would be troublesome for a campaign, but that'd be interesting if you could do that sort of thing. I definitely hope to see a big improvement on the skateboarding aspect of Bully. That's a feature that, while it served a purpose as to get you around quicker around the school and stuff, but unless you knew the proper techniques in order to go faster than you normally could, it was relatively slow, kind of sluggish. You couldn't really do tricks, you couldn't grind, and overall it just needed work. It was kind of rushed. So I think in the next game they really should go all in on skateboarding and add some cool tricks and stuff too. Because, who doesn't love to skateboard in video games? Why else do you think the Tony Hawk games and the skate games did so well? Even though I wasn't a huge fan of the 3 playable characters concept in GTA 5, I actually think it would be a great idea for Bully. Because let's face it, it's time that Rockstar Games included a female playable character in one of their games. So I think one character should be a female, because imagine going through school as a girl. I think that would create a lot of interesting elements for a Rockstar game that they've never done before. And then the other characters could be, say, one could be a new kid, like Jimmy Hopkins, trying to fit in and such. And the other one should be a nerd, I think. Because, the nerds always have that mission of trying to stand up to the bullies and maybe even you could add some mini games in there like Grottos and Gremlins. I think they should bring that back. Imagine having a playable Grottos and Gremlins, because in the first Bully, all you could do was collect the cards. So I think they should add that as a mini game that you take a part of in most of the story mode. And of course, your other mission would be to take down the bullies as the nerds. And as for your new kid, well, he tries to fit in. He tries to find his place in the school. Whereas the female obviously would have a lot of relationship problems, maybe going through puberty, not puberty, but hormones and all that stuff. A lot of fun stuff. I think that'd be a great concept. Another thing that I think I should talk about is maybe having allies. Because if you're in a school, shouldn't you be making friends and basically figuring out who you're gonna have lunch with and all that stuff, and then of course eventually going home and playing games with them? That's always what we do, all right? Well, in Bully, you should be able to have allies. I think they should add a robust system that allows you to basically make friends or romance options, of course, and keep those going throughout the story. Maybe, being able to recruit people was one of the greatest things about San Andreas in the Gang Wars options. Those were a lot of fun, and I think they should start doing that kind of stuff in the new games. So yeah, if you think about it, there's a lot you can do in a schoolyard. A lot you can do with a school game. I think Bully was such a great concept back in the day, but there's just so much that you could do now with the improvement in technology and all these other ideas that have come over the years. And of course, my idea for all this could also lend itself to an online mode where, of course, you can design your own character and choose your own faction, which is probably where I'm going with this. Maybe maybe the story itself could focus on, I don't know, Jimmy Hopkins or just any other kid. Could be anyone. But the online could be where you choose your own faction and do stuff for certain groups like nerds and bullies and greasers and all that stuff. I think the online mode could be very interesting if they go that kind of route, where you could essentially experience the school how you want to instead of how the character would experience it, like say Jimmy, who wants to essentially control people. He wanted to make sure people weren't getting bullied. He just wanted to kind of have a peaceful time and, get the girl as he would. So that's about it. Those are my ideas for Bully. Let me know what you think down below. And if you want me to continue these type of videos, please drop a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and have a good day.